What's up, girls? The whole purpose of this video is to help prepare your body and get some proper warm-up done before you actually go into your tournaments and into your competitions. At times, we see in tournaments, especially with volleyball tournaments, they're in a very tight window of a weekend. There's multiple games going on. There's a lot of sitting. And then when we warm up, it has to sometimes maybe be rushed. So we're not able to warm up our body properly. And sometimes we mistake hitting as warming up because our heart rate spikes. The whole purpose of this warm up is to prepare your joints, your tissues, and elongate your muscles to prepare you for the demands of what you're about to do with your swinging and jumping. So it'll be a full body movement. It'll be done within a 10 to 15 minute window, and you can follow along with me and I'll put you through the warm-ups. So first, we're gonna start with some foot and ankle work. As you see, I am barefoot. If we can do this before we put our court shoes on, that would be great. The foot and ankle support the structure, get some blood flow into our ankles, and get us properly ready to jump. So if you have a foam roller, you can easily use that, do some self-myofascial relief. What I do recommend first before we go through anything is if you have a tennis ball or a lax ball or something that you can roll your foot out, maybe a hard water bottle, just do that, maybe 30 seconds each side. That'll feel better than you know. We're gonna get into some ground-based mobility, some walking mobility. That's gonna be at a little faster speeds than when we're at the ground, so we can contract those muscles faster and faster. Okay, so first we're gonna start with some ankle cars. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit down on the floor, barefoot, right? And this is all about tension. So what we're trying to do here is we're gonna lock in the knee, and now I'm gonna create range of motion circles throughout my whole ankle. So you see I'm actively pointing my toe into my shin, and I'm gonna make about a 6 to 8 second circle and try to make the biggest circle I possibly can with my ankle while pulling my knee in, and I'm fighting for tension, right? We're not just kind of letting it flop around. We're fighting for tension. We get back to the top, go all the way back, and that's gonna get some blood flow. Your foot might even feel like it's gonna cramp. It's okay, embrace it. Let's get some blood flow in the ankles. If we're not gonna jump right or land right if our foot and ankle function's not working properly. It's all the way out, all the way back, right? We're gonna go 3 sets there, 3 reps there, right? And you can either go counterclockwise to clockwise or do all 3 clockwise and then all 3 counterclockwise. Awesome. Once we're done with that, we're gonna go into a hip flexor stretch. Now, some of you girls know when we have a band, it's assisted at the hip, right? If you don't have an assist, that's totally fine. You can get half kneeling. You're gonna get into a half kneeling position. You're gonna be nice and tall at the torso, and we're trying to open up the range of our hips, right? With our flexion and triple extension. I'm gonna squeeze my bottom glute. I'm gonna open up my front leg, and I'm gonna punch my hips forward. I'm gonna hold that for 3 seconds, and I'm gonna slowly start rocking into it. Right, and we're gonna go for 30 seconds here on each side. Now what we can do to enhance this stretch is open up all the way up into our oblique, into our torso, because our torso is a part of jumping. We're gonna go ahead and push in, and when we push in, we're gonna reach over. Push in, reach over. All right, and we're gonna go 30 seconds each side. So you can pause it here, go 30 seconds each side, and then you can catch up and unpause it to follow for the next one. All right, just like that. Okay, sweet. Now that we are done with our hip flexor stretch, our dynamic stretch, then we're gonna get into a figure 4 squat. So I'm gonna get in a figure 4 position, ankle's gonna be on top of the knee. I'm gonna try to keep my torso nice and tall, work on my balance, drive my big toe down on the ground, right? And I'm gonna squat and press this knee down as well. Back to the top, squat, press this knee down as well. And you should feel it open up that hip, okay? And we're gonna go 10 each leg. So you can go ahead and pause it right here. And if you need to pause it to catch up, because I'm gonna skip a little forward, you can do that too. Good, you should start feeling good in your hip. I'm gonna go into some small range of motion reverse Nordics, okay? So pay attention to the cues, how we're gonna do this. We're not just sitting down on our heels with our butt. We're gonna make sure that our toes are out, right? Our toes are pointing back, but in. So our heels are facing outwards. So we can open up that ankle structure, right? So it's gonna look like this. We're not bending from our hips. We actually squeeze our glutes. So we're tall, and keeping the glutes squeezed, we're gonna lean into the heels and then back up, right? Into the heels, don't go all the way down, back up. You're gonna feel that tension from your foot all the way into your quad, right? So it's gonna look toes in, squeeze the hips nice and tall. We rock back. And there's slight range of motion. Some of us may be able to get a little deeper than others, but the whole point is to keep the hips there, and we're getting those quads ready to roll, okay? Now we're gonna go into our barefoot series. So now we should start feeling a little warmer, more blood flow in our hips. Again, every single joint that's gonna be needed with our jumping demands and our deceleration demands, right? So now we're gonna go into our barefoot walks. We're gonna start with just our heel walks. We're gonna start with our heel walks, and that's gonna be 10 yards. You can go 5 and 5, it doesn't matter. If you don't have yard marks, obviously in a court or convention center, just use your brain, you know what 10 yards can be, right? So heels, we're gonna be on our heels the entire time. And we're on our heels. I'm actively pointing my toes up into my shins. That tibialis, that front side of our shin should feel good, okay? Now we're gonna go calf walks. So now I'm high on my toes, high on my toes, and I'm calf walking all the way down. Good, just like that, should feel good. Now we are going heel to toe walks. So we did heel walks, we did toe walks, tibialis, calf, soleus, the muscles that are needed in our foot and ankle to handle that shock from high jump demands and deceleration demands. Now we're gonna go heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe, right? Nice and slow. And we're going 10 yards. So again, if you only have 5 yards, you can take that 5 yards and go back and forth just like I am here. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to play some volleyball right now. Cool, we just finished with a little bit of prehab. Now we're gonna go into some trunk prep. And again, now our hips, our knees should feel a little warm, right? Our ankles, our foot complex should feel a little warm. And now we're gonna get into some trunk prep, and we're gonna keep this thing going. And the trunk prep is gonna prepare the body in alignment for the demands it's about to face. This series alone will set the foundation for how we're jumping, right? The reason we want to prep our trunk is because what studies have shown is in that LPH complex, the lumbar, pelvis, and hip complex, if we can obtain a neutral pelvis at toe off at the very end of our jump, that's going to help us maximize great positions and great power. And then deceleration, we're going to be stable because all those stabilizing muscles, those primary muscles needed are going to help us, whether we land one leg, alternate, or at the same time, depending on the chaos in volleyball. So here we're gonna go into a side plank clamshell ISO. It's gonna be 20 seconds on each side. We're gonna get in a side plank right here, right? I'm gonna make sure my elbow, my hips, and my knees are straight, right? I'm gonna lift up in a side plank and then lift my top leg, and we're holding this for 20 seconds. Awesome. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Should fill in that glute medius, that's totally fine. From here, we're actually gonna go into a dead bug ISO and then a plank ISO. These are both in this dead bug. We're gonna make sure that we are in a dead bug position. Head is off the floor, low back is smashed into the ground, right? And then from here, smashing the ground, head is up, dead bug position. We're gonna drop alternates without letting that back round off of the ground, and we're holding this for 20. Embrace tension here. If you start shaking like I am, that's totally fine. That's normal, we want tension. go into a plank, right? So we're not dipping the back, we're not kicking our butt up. Our pelvis is tucked to our rib cage, look like a turtle shell. We're holding this for 20. And notice how in these planks, in the side plank clamshell, right in the dead bug, we're also starting to get blood flow and some stability work in those shoulders and in that shoulder girdle. So that whole trunk is important because your hips are correlated and move with your shoulders. We need to warm it all up, okay? So now we talked about ankles, triple extension, right? Knees, now we're gonna go hips. So we gotta make sure fully. So this is the last one of that trunk series. We're gonna start with a single leg hip bridge. So we're gonna be on the floor, hip bridge right here, right? We're gonna go ahead and make sure one leg is up, this leg is gonna be about 90 degrees, toe is pointing up, and I am actively trying to squeeze this glute as hard as I can. Get hip extension. I'm trying to extend my hip up to the ceiling. Squeeze, 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 right? We hold, we hold, we hold. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Good, other side. And don't just dip and hold. We're actively squeezing and pushing to the ceiling. Now your trunk should be warm. All right, the last two exercises for our trunk prep. This is gonna start incorporating everything. We're gonna go into 90 degrees, back leg, front leg, split stance iso. We're gonna go for 20 seconds body weight right here. Ready, go, right? So we're gonna hold this for 20 seconds. Body weight, great position, sink those hips. It's gonna feel awesome. You'll feel ready to roll. If it burns a little bit, that's okay. You're not gonna be fatigued for your game. You're just getting warm, ready for your muscles to activate. So you're ready off the first play. Good, right? So it's gonna be 90 degrees on both sides. And then from there, we're gonna go into a long lever split stance iso. So then that's gonna be long lever back, long leg back, right? So I'm squeezing this glute, my leg is straight, and then I'm gonna sink down just with this leg. So now I'm straighter here, I feel a stretch here. And now we're holding this for 20 seconds. We went through warming up and prepping our foot and ankle for the demands of what we're about to experience. We got some blood flow rolling into our trunk, that lumbar, pelvic, hip region, shoulder girdle region, right? Now we're gonna go through some ground-based mobility. Hang tight, we're almost there. So in this ground-based mobility, all of them are one set, couple 10 reps, couple 5 reps, okay? You'll see it on the camera too, on the video. First, we're gonna start with rolling V's. V, we're gonna reach in, and we got 5 reps here. And I can't get all the way down, but if you can, that's gonna be great. Keep those legs nice and straight. We're just warming up that spine. Now we're gonna go into some hamstring pulls or some leg lifts. In this straight leg lift, you're gonna make sure you squeeze the quad of an opposite leg, smash your back in the ground, and then you're lifting straight from the hip. Straight from the hip. Squeeze the bottom quad, straight from the hip. Can't get it to the ground because of my knee injury. Boom. Now we're gonna go a knee hug. Squeeze the quad on the bottom leg. Don't let the knee hug drift away from your chest. Keep it to your chest, point your toe to your shin, straighten your leg. You should feel a bounce in your hamstring. That is totally normal. Hold it for 2 seconds, back up. 1, 2, back up. 1, 2, back up. We're going 5 each right here. Now we're going to iron cross. So when we lay down on the floor, right? Arms nice and long, head down, feet in a dead bug position. We're gonna cross, let our knees tap, try to keep your shoulder pinned to the ground. On the opposite side, breathe in on the way down, keep it tight, get it back up. Reset at the top. Just now we're gonna go into a scorpion. So we all know what scorpions are, right? Widen out our hands, right? Now we're just trying to kick heel to hand. And I can't, heel to hand. Adductors inside of the leg, okay? Adductor inside of the leg, sink our hips back, reach under. 5 each side. Now we're gonna go quadrupt hip circles. So quadrupt, we don't wanna rotate from the pelvis, right? We're gonna keep our chest down on the floor, knee to chest, open up, big circle. Squeeze the glute, back kick back like a donkey kick back, big circle, back to the middle, back to the front. And we're just gonna go 5 each side. And again, just like the ankle car in the beginning, this is all about tension here. Trying to make sure we have good tension. Now, we're gonna stand, I'm gonna go leg kicks. Five on the other side. Right, now we're gonna go frontal plant. Kick out, kick through, kick out, kick through. Feel good. This is where it gets interesting. So now we're in our dynamics. You should feel warm, ready to go, okay? We got one set of 10 yards. Now we can go forward hug, forward jog, arm hug. This should take 5 minutes right here. 10 yards, and go backward skip arm circles. So if you do this kind of stuff with the team, the movement, I'd suggest to do the foot, ankle, trunk, hip stuff right before you actually get into the dynamic stuff that they do as a team. So hit some karaoke. Open up the hips. So now we're gonna go scoops, hamstring scoops, 3 each. This is the way it's gonna look. Front leg up, slight knee bend, toe pointed up. We're not bending from our chest. Chest stays tall and forward, bending from the hips. Feel it elongate the hamstring, then we scoop through. 1, 2, 3, other side, right? So we'll do this 10 yards. Okay, sweet. We went through our foot and ankle series. We went through our trunk and hip prep. We went through our ground mobility, our dynamic mobility, and now we're here at the activation series. So this activation series is not necessarily intensive, trying to jump as high as you can or as fast as you can off the ground. This is more to prep our tendons for the work that we're about to go into, as well as fire our nervous system to move as fast as possible and activate as fast as possible, right? So we're gonna start 10 yards. It's gonna be a double pogo forward. So we're gonna go 10 yards, double pogo forward. Right, and that's gonna be 10 yards. You can go 5 and 5. Okay, so I did 5 that way, but 5 and 5. Now we're gonna go backwards. So backwards for 10 yards. Good. Now we're gonna go single leg, 5 yards, just one time. Single leg forward. Right, both legs, and we'll go single leg backwards. This one's a little harder, a lot harder. Oh, man. All right, these are the last two we got. We got power skip for height, so that's gonna be 10 yards. Now you might feel extremely warm. You might feel even out of breath a little bit. That's totally fine. This work is gonna help you get fully prepped, fully stabilized, fully ready, fully activated for your tournament. You can hit some, not others. If you feel a little more stiff, I suggest the whole thing. But this is gonna get you ready game to game, day to day. Good luck. Go crush your volleyball tournaments, your volleyball games, your volleyball practices, and comment down below for other stuff you would like to see. Keep building.